How to tape your fingers for jiu-jitsu. Let's go. I like Finger Tape brand, one of the best brands for tape that I've found. I've tried so many different variations, and their tape sticks. It's easy to take on and off, and they support jiu-jitsu athletes. So make a nice long strip. I'm going to tape the first knuckle of my middle finger to start. I start just below the first knuckle, and I lay a solid loop, making sure that I stack the tape right on top of each other. Not too much pressure, not too little, kind of just right. Then I run a diagonal barn door hatch up to the first fingertip, which I then loop 3 times. After the third loop, I do a cross back down to the original loop. These crosses are matching the ligaments of my finger that help close my finger. So I'm just giving them extra support, laying the tape on top. The theory is that the tape will break before your ligaments do. So the tape is not only preventative, it helps prevent major injuries from happening. But if your fingers need a little bit extra support, they do that as well. So they get that support from the tape in a great way. So second finger, I like to do my middle and ring finger. I do the first knuckle of those because they seem to get the most abuse. If you are working with some other injury, say the first knuckle of your middle finger is really swollen or sore, I would recommend taping that one as well. I'm going to tape my little finger or my pinky finger on this hand as it's been taking a bit of abuse, and that will come next. And to do that, notice I'm going to start below the second knuckle, above the very base of my palm. Lay a strip there. Lay it down firm and solid. And again, tensioning the tape to your desired amount is important. Too strong and it cuts off blood flow, your fingers start throbbing. That's not a good sign. Too little and the tape just comes off with your first roll, and that's just super annoying. You end up going through heaps of tape. So I recommend playing it with a little bit. It'll take a few tries to find the ideal kind of pressure placement for you and what you prefer. But this is the most efficient way to lay tape on your fingers that I've ever been taught or shown. I was shown this by a ER nurse, and after they saw me tape my fingers, like, whoa, let me show you how to do this so it's actually supporting your hands. Once I learned that, I never went back. This is how I tape my hand for training, for competition, for when my fingers need the most support. So you notice I did both the knuckles on my pinky finger, started at the proximal, moved out towards the distal, and you're creating that little cross underneath the ligaments on each side. As you're laying down the tape, you want to make sure that you kind of smooth down any rough corners or edges. If you're like me, you like things to look nice and tidy. And once you practice this a bit, the whole process is pretty quick. Like I can tape my hands in under a minute when I'm not slowing down and trying to explain for camera. So with a little bit of practice, not only do I recommend taping your hands every time you roll in the gi, especially if you're going to have hard training, tape up your hands. I don't do this for no gi. Obviously, there's no material to grip on, so it does not need that same amount of protection and care. But every time I train in the gi, I tape my fingers. And after 21 years of jiu-jitsu, I can not only stress that this saves my hands from aching and getting more arthritic, but protects them. And here is the final job. All ready to go. Let's train. Os.